Say what? It was funny. I always felt like they would find some way to bring him back. I mean, they're dealing with a multiverse. He could be the AI. He could be a variant. Who knows? Let's see how it goes.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder, where we talk all things Marvel and MCU. I'm your host, Warren Thompson, and as we get closer to Avengers Secret Wars, MCU is indeed going to start to connect a lot more, especially when we start Phase 5. I know some fans have been kind of disappointed so far with the lack of connectivity that Phase 4 has had in the MCU. However, it looks like things
with a lot
are
of
about to
shit.
change and are about to get very, very exciting. Today we have a report that some old actors are going to be returning for Secret Wars, specifically
Robert
Downey Jr. And at the same time, it looks like we have some news about John Krasinski possibly returning to play Mr. Fantastic, the main Mr. Fantastic of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, something that fans really want, especially after seeing him in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Magnus.
Yeah,
and
just
his
kill
wife,
him off like
Emily
that.
Blunt, could possibly be coming along too to play the Invisible Woman, as some things that she said before in the past are a little bit different than what she has to say about the MCU now. Now, there's a lot of really exciting things about to happen in the MCU, but here's what is truly exciting. It looks like everything that we basically wanted from Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, we are actually going to be getting in Avengers Secret Wars, and this makes sense. Many people thought that Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness was just going to be filled with cameos and different variants of different characters, people from the Fox universe, people that haven't been introduced to the MCU yet. And while we did get
I feel like they're
some
gonna bring
of
in
that
Tom
with
sooner or
John
later.
Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic and Patrick Stewart from the Fox franchise as Professor Xavier, we really only got these other variants in one other universe, if we're not counting the other Doctor Strange variants. But Secret Wars has the potential to be so much more, and it looks like it is going to be more, as we have a report today that Disney is planning on getting back Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark / Iron Man in Avengers Secret Wars. Now, here's the really cool thing about this. Well, one is obviously that Robert Downey Jr. would return to the MCU. This would be fantastic to see. Of course, he is an icon of the MCU. He started it all with Iron Man, and it would just simply be amazing to see him in Avengers Secret Wars back in the MCU. I also should note that this is backed up by the insider account My Time to Shine Hello, who has been extremely accurate with her scoops. So that's another very exciting thing. But two, this opens up the door, and this means that Marvel Studios wants old actors to come back to play variants of their MCU selves, which is fantastic news because that means we could get people like Chris Evans returning to play a variant of Captain America. We could have the 3 Spider-Men together once again, or even more Spider-Men joining them. And this does open up the door for John Krasinski to return in Secret Wars. However, there is still a big chance that he could play the main MCU's Reed Richards, and we'll talk about that in just a bit. But first, a big thank you to Established Titles for sponsoring this video. This one's actually really cool and very personal to me because I've actually used Established Titles before. My family is from Scotland, and they do a lot of great work for the environment. With Established Titles, you can officially become a lord or a lady. And when I say that, I literally mean it. You can change your name to Lord or Lady and get it on your credit cards or plane tickets. And you get an official certificate. Here's mine. In Scotland, if you own a piece of land, you are referred to as Lord or Lady. Through Established Titles, you get 1 square foot of land in Scotland, which officially makes you a lord or a lady. And you get a certificate with your unique plot number where you can see the exact location of your land. And something truly great is they plant a tree with every order and work with global charities One Tree Planted and Trees for the Future to support global restoration efforts. This makes a perfect last minute gift for somebody, and the first 200 people purchasing a title pack using my link will effectively be next to my plot within a few minutes of walking distance. And depending on how many of you want to become a lord or a lady, we can build our little Cosmic Wonder kingdom. And right now, Established Titles is running a massive sale. Plus, if you use the code Cosmic Wonder, you get an additional 10% off. So go to establishedtitles.com/CosmicWonder to get your gifts now and help support the channel. So with Disney wanting Robert Downey Jr. to return, this means that they most likely want other members of the MCU who are no longer in the MCU to return as well. This means that we are truly going to get the movie that we thought we were going to get in Multiverse of Madness. Magnus. This truly means that Secret Wars is going to be the biggest Marvel Studios film of all time. Not only are we going to be getting old characters returning like Robert Downey Jr., most likely Chris Evans, and of course Black Widow, but we are also going to have all of the new characters like the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, but not just the X-Men and the Fantastic Four from our universe, we're going to get them from other universes as well. But actually, before we dive into that, let's talk about John Krasinski still possibly being in the running to play Mr. Fantastic in our main Marvel Cinematic Universe. Recently, rumors have been going around that a lot of other people are being considered to play Mr. Fantastic / Reed Richards of the MCU, as well as Sue Storm. However, I don't believe we should be ruling out John Krasinski and his wife Emily Blunt to play these two characters. Because I've said this before in another video, but Marvel Studios might actually be trolling us with all of these other casting rumors that are going around. But more on that in a bit. Let's talk about what Emily Blunt has recently said about John Krasinski playing Mr. Fantastic. As it turns out, she has hopes that he is going to return. In an interview with Hey You Guys at the London Film Festival, she was asked about her husband playing Mr. Fantastic in the MCU in Multiverse of Madness, and this is what she said. I was really happy for him because I think he's a huge fan, and I understand why it's such an ardent, passionate religion for people. It's a huge part of our cinematic history now, so he was thrilled. The interviewer then said, well, I think everyone else was as well, hoping we can see him again, in which Emily Blunt said, yeah, religion. Well, I hope so. I hope so. You never know. And then she put her finger up to her mouth as to go, shh, and keep a secret when she said that. Which, of course, is always very interesting. Now, of course, either way, this is a big tease, whether it's true or not. Emily Blunt knows exactly what she's doing when she puts her finger to her mouth. It could mean nothing, but it also could mean, hey, I can't really say anything about this, so let's stop asking me questions. Now, what's really interesting here is that it does seem like Emily Blunt's view of the Marvel Cinematic Universe has changed over the past couple of years. Over the past couple of years, in random interviews, she has been asked about the role of Sue Storm because, of course, all of the fans have been fan-casting her and her husband as Mr.
Like
Fantastic
now compared to every other
and most of the time she has said that she wouldn't want to play that role, basically stating that she doesn't really have a passion for the MCU and doesn't totally understand it, which is, of course, completely fine. It's not for everybody, and that's okay. However, her mind seems to have changed, and she now seemingly understands what all the hype is about. We see this as she says, and I understand why it's such an ardent, passionate religion for people. It's a huge part of our cinematic history now. Clearly here her views have changed. So, could this mean that she could possibly debut as the Invisible Woman / Sue Storm? In my personal opinion, I think this makes this entirely possible now. I believe that John Krasinski is still in the running to play the main Mr. Fantastic of our MCU. Yes, Kevin Feige kind of did it as fan service, casting John Krasinski in Multiverse of Madness. However, well, one, we don't know the whole story about that, and two, he was perfect. He was literally perfect as Mr. Fantastic, and you can't ignore that. And Kevin Feige definitely knows when somebody is perfect for a role. So it could be possible that they weren't really considering him before. However, after Multiverse of Madness, they could be considering him for the main Mr. Fantastic. And I think they would be fools to not at least consider that possibility. Especially if you have his wife willing to play Sue Storm, who of course is the wife of Reed Richards in Marvel history. So this would be pretty dang perfect. But even if either aren't cast for the Fantastic Four film, they could return in Secret Wars, because it sounds like nothing is off the table if they are indeed going to be bringing back Robert Downey Jr., in which it does seem like they want to. So I know typically we should keep our expectations low, but considering the fact that this is going to be an Avengers film, and it is Secret Wars, I believe that we are going to get a ton of cameos. People from the Fox universe, old X-Men, even the old Fantastic Four are on the table. This is a movie where incursions are going to happen and universes are going to collide. This is a movie where literally anything is possible. And it sounds like we're getting started off on the right foot already, with Marvel Studios wanting Robert Downey Jr. to return as a variant.
One of the most intense faces I've ever seen on it.
Is going to be huge. But let us know what you think about all of this
in
the
comments
down below. Are you excited for
mom?
Robert Downey Jr.'s return, if that does officially happen? And do you think John Krasinski and Emily Blunt should play Reed Richards and Sue Storm in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Let us know your thoughts down below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest news. For live updates, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.
I'm very happy with this news. Very happy. But if she said that she doesn't understand the fandom or doesn't understand the hype, I mean, she's a great actress, but she doesn't have a passion for it, then there's no need for her to really play a character in it. I mean, some people are really good at something without being passionate at it. So sometimes, you can do a job without being passionate about it. Like, if you're into wrestling, you've heard a lot of the stories where, people felt like the Ultimate Warrior wasn't passionate about the business, but he was just, there to make some money. He did a real fucking good job without being passionate about something. That's if he truly wasn't passionate about it. You got what I'm saying? But, yeah, we shall see. But I'm definitely looking forward to Robert Downey Jr. coming back, Scarlett Johansson coming back. Why am I now? His name escapes me. But Mr. Fantastic coming back. Yeah. Post comments down below. Let me know what you all think. If you enjoyed my reaction, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. And subscribe to the Cosmic Wonder. That Ryan don't need to play the game. Bars. 10 million subscribers. Woo!